Hi and welcome to my video log. This is the first time I'm doing something like this on YouTube. I'm normally on Instagram, but the downside on Instagram is that now Reels is becoming a thing and people's attention span is like 6 or 7 seconds. If any content is longer than that, people won't watch it. So I think maybe it's time to try a YouTube thing and see if that can give more insight and maybe some more value, and maybe I'll enjoy making stuff like this. I know that YouTube demands a lot more work, much more editing, cleaner shots because the frame is bigger on the screen and stuff. So I'll just try, see if I enjoy it and if you guys enjoy it, and if it catches on, then I will continue to make stuff like this. I'm going to do a training very soon, and then I'm going to film much of it and give you voiceover and explain how I think, what I'm doing. This is for myself as well. It's good to give myself a little bit more pressure to perform better, I think, and also to reflect more upon what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Yeah, so that is my intentions with this video log thing. Lately I have been having very good training sessions, and I just did a rest day yesterday. The day after rest day, which is today, performance is usually very random, so I don't expect too much of today's training. My plan is to go through the basics on one arm and then just take it from there, see what my body is capable of doing. Maybe do a little bit of flags, a little bit of figas, and some combinations between those two. But it all depends on like how my back is feeling. My back is my limiting factor. But recently, for the last 2 weeks, it's been really good, and I've been able to make consistent progress with the stuff that I'm working with, which is flags and figas. When my back is bad, flags suck completely, and I'm stuck with only doing basic stuff, which is pretty boring and repetitive at this point for me. So I'm super happy that flags is working. So that's the plan for today. I'm off to training in 10 minutes. It's Wednesday and it's like soon 2 p.m. My gym is literally like 1 apple away from my apartment. That's pretty handy. Here we go. First thing I do is to warm up my legs. I do front split, pancake and side split. And before I do front split, I warm up my hamstrings in a pike like this. Moving my knees a little bit around, moving my upper body a little bit around. Yeah, just until it loosens up. Usually take around a couple of minutes. And then I warm up my hips. Before I'm doing reps here, I just held the lower position for approximately 1 minute. And I'm doing some reps here. I'm trying to tilt my pelvis back and push the hip down towards the floor while I lean my shoulders back. First bending the front leg and then holding down position and moving the back knee. And for me this feels like it stretches pretty much, and also like I get to use my muscles in the end range. Second set, I go a little bit deeper and also try to get some back action going here. Before sliding down to 1 minute of front split. I'm trying to lean back, trying to not let the hips, keep the hips square. And then I give some more love to my lower back. Then I do 1 set of oversplit. That's what I did today. I don't always do an oversplit, but today I did it. It's very funny because for me oversplits feels like I'm doing something actively, because I'm always trying to kind of push the hip down, and you always work with your hamstring on the front leg to kind of to stay upright basically, and then trying to also to lean back as much as possible. It's a very fun dynamic between the active and the passive part here, I think. And I'm very religious with my stopwatch when it comes to like the most hard part of my flexibility training. So I'm not being fooled by my own perception of time. That was the front split part. Now moving over to Pancake. Before Pancake, I warm up my hips and glutes like this. The floor, the green floor, is very slippery, so I'm like, I need to hold myself towards the wall and stuff so I don't just slide. Left is much looser here than my right for some reason. And then going into the tailor's pose. I need to work a lot here in order to like not compensate for my awkward hips. My left hip is operated, so everything in my lower body is very strange put together, to say it to be honest. Yeah. After 2 sets of tailor's pose, I go into the first Pancake. I go into the wide Pancake. I feel like that's what gives me the most benefit, since my hamstrings is already pretty decent. And I use this kind of as a warm-up before the side split. So I'm staying here for 2 minutes, working myself deeper and deeper into the stretch. And I am the bitch to the stopwatch. Very religious with the time here. While I wait for my hips to get ready for the next set, I warm up my wrist. So I just put some weight on my hands in different angles and positions for maybe a minute and a half or something. Ending with some knuckle ups. And then the second Pancake I do is going from a Pancake into a box split. Well, I try to keep my hip as low as possible. And then the first handstand of the day. It's a 2-minute hold with a 30 seconds tuck in it. And it just gives me some time on my hands, which I always think is a good idea to get in the early part of the session. So that is one of 3 2-arm handstands that I do in my warm-up. And next is a full side split. I'm very stiff and my hips are, they're messed up. My left hip is operated and it won't budge. Like it's been on this level for years, and I'm training this stuff every day. So it's pretty sure that it's mechanical. It won't improve basically. So that's kind of frustrating, kind of sucks, because my lines in handstand is suffering from it. But it is what it is, have to deal with it, have to work with the stuff that I have. Holding here for 2 minutes. So I at least get to warm up into the range that I have. And then the second handstand of the day, which is always a bunch of combos with different shapes and stuff. Starting with a press, then holding a 7, and then doing different kind of repetitions. This warm up my back, my shoulders, my hip, and it gives me an indicator of where my body is that day. If it's very stiff and horrible, then this usually is a little bit of painful. If it's not, then it can feel smooth. Today it felt pretty smooth in my legs and my hips and shoulders as well. I was hoping for a good session. We're getting back to why I said hoped. So I always do the same sequences. It takes like 1.5 to 2 minutes this set. And then I do another split, but I didn't film it. The third handstand of the day is always some presses. Same here, it gives me an indicator where my shoulders is, where my back is, and where my hips is. I usually do like 5 to 10 reps here. In the fourth handstand, it's always some around 3 to 5 seconds, one arms in straddle on floor, like 3-4 times per side. Gives me an indicator of how my balance is going to be that day. Today it was like okay, I would say, not horrible, not great. And then it's a 30-second handstand on block. Time it to make sure that it's always 30. That gives me some time on hand. I get to make some mistake and fix the mistake in an easy shape before I move on to harder basics. And this is the harder basics. 10 seconds in each position. I got a cramp right now, that's why I'm messed up. I got a bit distracted. And at that point I knew that this set is going to be a long set, because I had a cramp through it. And sometimes it loosens up and goes away, and sometimes it doesn't. Here it didn't go away in straight, but it went away now, thank God. Yeah, it's pretty boring, but like it's 10 seconds straight, 10 seconds straddle with hand up, both sides, and then 10 seconds in diamond and 10 seconds in tuck. I do this because I like to start my sessions with something that is safe, so I get time in balance. Next I decided to go for flags today, or to try to see how flags would be today. And what I found out after a few sets is that my back is really painful today, especially my left side, so it's not smart to continue with flags. I can push through stiffness and stuff, that's not a problem, but pushing through pain when it's that kind of pain that I had today, that's not smart. So just moving on after some sets, because it didn't get better after it either. So this is kind of the test that I do to check my day on flags. So I decided to move on to figas, since I also have been having pretty good figa days lately. So this is kind of the warm-up drill that I do for figa. Helps me to understand how to push up the shoulder, how to send my hip sideways, and also to train the flexibility part of it. Figas is, I'm not good at it at all, so that's why I need to pay really much attention to what's going on, because I'm still kind of learning this skill, and when I'm stiff it's very hard, when I'm flexible it's going well. Yeah. So today, based on this, I was hoping for a good continuation of figa practice when I took it to the canes. Canes are much easier than blocks and floor, and I needed a win today. So I moved on to canes instead of dealing with the frustration of blocks. I like to enter figas from straight. I'm most consistent that way actually. Most people prefer straddle. Yeah. This happened a lot. Like I had some few good sets before this, but then it just turned worse and worse. So I just fucked figa and moved on to some basics that I know is completely safe for me, because I needed a win today. But even the basic stuff started to fail on me, like what's going to happen right now. And that was so horrible, so embarrassing. So I just like, fuck this shit, I'm going home, saving my energy for a better session tomorrow. Some days are like that. Unfortunately, much frustration, much suffering, and yeah, hope for better stuff coming tomorrow. Just walking home from the session, and it was so bad. It was a complete catastrophe. So I cut it short. Like some sessions you're able to fix by focusing or changing up the drills or something like that. But today, like absolutely nothing worked, and it got worse and worse throughout the session. That kind of sucks, because I was eager to show you guys how I properly trained and stuff, and then yeah, that's how it is. That's hand balancing. And this is what I eat after every session. I've been doing it for like 10 years or something. It is a mixture of protein powder, oatmeal, creatine, frozen berries, walnuts, milk, and sugar-free jam on top. This tastes awesome to me. It's like one of the big highlights of my day. That sounds sad, I know, don't worry. And that was the first vlog. For the rest of the day I'm probably going to edit this clip, and then I'm going to walk, take a long walk, find some water, and then walk slowly into the water while I think to myself, what am I doing with this life of mine? Because handstands is possibly not it. Just joking. Let me know what you think about this clip in the comments below, and also, how do you deal with bad training sessions? Until next time.